Gosh. Let's see what this is here. That it's not that I'm free to do what I want, and that I can at least attempt to shape my future and stuff. Yes.
Attempt.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's not. There are no guarantees, are there? I don't know. You can.
You're absolutely right. There are no guarantees. Okay.
I gotta. This.
All right, so
Okay.
actually, right here's pretty nice. You know, you got the leaves. You can see the background. Yeah.
Works too. Okay.
All right. So, as we mentioned before, before we had to start over, what made you choose this place?
Well, it's outside and springtime, and it makes me feel like I'm outside. Yeah, I got like a lot of space worlds otherwise, and I don't know. I guess that's probably partially why I picked it up, like, maybe subconsciously a little bit. Yeah. I was just looking for one outside, and I guess maybe that's the reason.
Well, that sort of leads into our next questions, but first, you don't have to say like, you know, your full name or whatever, but you say, what would you like to be called?
Josh was fine. Yeah, it works. Yeah.
Okay.
Or Smosh. It's whatever. That's where it comes from. So.
Like, you know, how old are you? Or, you know, you can give an age range. Where are you from?
Yeah. Let's see, I'm 25, from Wisconsin. Right now I live with my parents, work on a farm, milking cows. It's a dairy farm, so yeah.
Working man.
A little bit of money. Not a ton, but enough to.
Well, I mean, to get started, right? You know, you sort of
Mm-hmm.
letting people know, you know, what's going on.
Yep.
So yeah, you mentioned where you live. So you're in Wisconsin right now. I'm just gonna go through the general questions I have down. So like, do you speak any other languages besides English?
No, just took 4 years of Spanish in high school, but that's like, I don't know, like maybe some words, but no. Nope.
We're about to find out what gang you're a part of. What's your favorite color?
Gang. All right, blue. Yeah.
Oh yeah, blue gang. All right. Last thing before we start diving into things is what brings you to be your best self? Yeah, I know. Had to smack you with that one.
I mean, I think it has a lot to do with me being myself. So, yeah.
So
I'm not trying to like put on a front for any reason or whatever. So that has a lot to do with it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so it sounds like really
being with people that I like or something, or you know, would like to be around, you know. So yeah.
So it sounds like, you know, being able to be your true self as much as you can, and you know, being surrounded by, you know, good friends, good company.
Yeah, pretty much.
How truthful are you with yourself?
From 0 to 10, truthful with myself. But we'll say like 5 or something. Might be above or below that, but yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, so for a little more context, it's sort of like, you know, you have something that you might need to do or think about or process, but you decide not to, and you might say, oh, it's fine, it's not really a big deal, but how truthful is that? Is it a big deal?
Mm-hmm.
Is this something you need to take
Yeah.
care of? And how many times do you, or how often do you do that?
So more recently, I'd say probably better in the past. Not quite as true. Was it true to myself? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
That
so
what, or
basically 10,
truthful?
10,
More,
10
yeah,
would be,
yeah.
is like, yeah, I am very
Mhm.
truthful with myself and I leave nothing
Mhm.
out.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not like great being true to myself. I still like have tendencies or whatever, but it's like it's getting better. It's probably, I guess, looking at it like that, maybe more like more like 7 or something like that, probably, maybe. Yeah,
Mhm.
working on it. Yeah.
Well, definitely sounds better from the last time I had reached out to you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was about a year ago.
oh
It was
yeah,
about a
yeah,
year
yeah,
ago, I think.
yeah. It's definitely
Mhm.
been a
Yeah.
second. So
Mhm.
let's jump right into it. What would you like to talk about today? From anything to anything, something that you would like to share with the world, so that other people who are going through or have gone through the same thing can maybe get a little bit better insight.
And more recently, it's like people just like work and work and work. With relation to like my family or whatever, kind of
Mhm.
something that I realized. Whatever, it's like, you know, a lot of people, you just work to like cope with life, and then you don't ever think about anything in between. So I don't know. I have a little bit of time now, so at least a little bit until you whatever go into the inevitable grind of surviving and making your living, however you do that. Yeah.
Wow.
But
Yeah, man, that sounds really like you've thought about this since like the last time we talked. Yeah,
a
that
little
makes a
bit,
lot more
yeah.
sense. So like, what I'm kind of hearing from that is you really want more out of life, and sounds like you don't feel like it should just only be a grind, and that once you start to get on this grind, you can't get off.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, sort of. I don't know. Because I do it too. It's like I distract myself with whatever. You distract yourself with gaming or whatever, or with your problems. The problems that are there, you just like kind of, I don't know, cover them and with whatever it is. And I don't know. At least thinking about them might not be easy, but I think
Okay.
it's good for sure. Yeah, to figure it out for yourself. Try to. Yeah.
So is this the main thing that's kind of bothered you for a while, and what you wanted to talk about today?
Uh, I don't know. Something that's been on my mind somewhat recently. Yeah, I suppose just like going from the farm, whatever. I hadn't had like super great, like or close maybe relationships where you like talk and like actually get, uh, even in or probably mainly like conversations have like good conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time it's just like you talk to people, you have a good time, which is good. I mean, that's at least something. But uh when I went to college and I had like an actual like group of friends that I could like talk to instead of just hang out with and bounce off each other and have a good time, which is I think pretty important.
Yeah, gotta have people that you can talk to.
Yeah.
But what I'm kind of kind of hearing from that is you said you didn't really grow up knowing what it was like to have like close relationships, right? Like with your family.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's a lot of like they do things for you but you never say what those things are, kind of.
What do you mean by
And
that?
like and well, yeah, the actions speak louder than words, whatever, but like sometimes I like to like hear the things or like instead of just because
So
if you can't talk about them, sometimes it feels like they couldn't talk about them. So that's just a weird, like, you could be there to support me, whatever, but
you never really say it.
you don't, yeah, you don't really say it. I don't know. It's a weird, yeah.
So kind of getting this the feeling that it'd be really important to you if they could not only just be there in person, but to be able to tell you and support you, in conversation and just being there for you emotionally.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's something that they're not used to or super comfortable with, especially like my dad or whatever. It's kind of like the quote unquote, you know, toxic masculinity, not per se, but like the more so like somber, whatever, like rock that is and supports, and
He's the head of the household.
yeah, more, yeah, and he's not all that either. He's like silly and goofy and whatever, but it's like I have been able to recently like get like conversations like that, but I'm initiating, and I guess it's all cooperative too. So yeah.
Well, I mean, like that's good to hear. So you're at least like sort of reaching out and talking to him, and he's not like completely like shutting down. He's actually, working with you, but he's not doing it on his own. One step at a time, right?
Yeah, yeah. I talk with my mom more, just cause like she kind of gets it. He's lived well, until recently, like in the same house for his whole life, or I grew up there, and it's hard to understand the world if you've never been out in it. So yeah.
So you're saying,
and
because
my mom went to college. Go for it. Yeah.
Sorry. Well, I'm just saying, so
That's
because
fine, yeah.
because he's always been in the same place, he sort of doesn't have, that eye-opening experience of what else is in the world and what it has to offer and how people are very different than what he knows.
How other people act, or like this lifestyle of work is the only thing. It's very much so not true. You can get a lot more out of life than just working, and yeah. Working and having a family. Yeah. There are hobbies, there are I don't know, other things.
So what would you say like the main problems are? Because you talked about not wanting to go on the grind, but I'm also sort of hearing that getting out of your comfort zone and experiencing the world so that you can build better relationships and meet new people, talk to them, be there for them, and just not so distant, like you're there but you're not there.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just something that feels like an act, right? Yeah. I guess this is also my family. It's like someone I could see it so clearly through is like my brother's a bit more like my older brother. He's taken over a farm. He's a bit more abrasive and like, I don't know if brash is the right word, but yeah, just like real blunt and an asshole sometimes. But yeah, just yeah. And it's interesting because I don't know exactly where he got that from, but because my dad's not really like that. But yeah.
So it kind of sounds like
It's
you
like,
feel.
and that's
Oh.
this is like very judgy. The parents behind the scenes are very like judgmental of things, and he's very outwardly judgmental, like behind someone's back almost. It's like, ugh, I don't like that.
So I'm hearing it. So your brother is sort of a bit two-faced, and your parents are sort of straight to your face about whatever they don't like.
Well, they just don't really say if they wouldn't like it. They would like, yeah, just not say anything. It's usually, it's because partially about the way that I am. I'm always been very like sensitive, or like I can't take a whole lot, and so like even my brother would adjust. He knows that he can't like just ream on me, or not physically, but just like, holler at me, whatever, or reprimand me for
like
if I did something
you.
wrong on the farm or whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, I don't know. And so they know that. So, but at the same time, not saying anything is just because you don't know what to say. It's really hard to, yeah, I don't know. Having a conversation tends to clear my mind up, at least, whatever, about any questions that I got about whatever's going on. So
yeah, so it sounds like maybe like at a time they did sort of tell you everything, but you said yourself that it kind of bothered you, it hurt you at times, so then they just stopped. And now it's like you go from one end all the way to the other, and they used to say things and now they don't say anything at all. And I'm sort of hearing that not saying anything at all is actually starting to feel worse.
Well, it's kind of complex. It's like I've always been really hard on myself, so therefore any external like reprimanding that comes like would usually bring me to like shutdown mode or whatever, or like at least tears, whatever, at least when I was younger, right? So as time went on, like whatever, various like gym teachers, whatever, so they would like
gym teachers,
one in particular that like one
oh
in
god
one particular
this one time
one particular
in gym class.
One particular time that comes to mind is like we got the look it up, it's called the presidential like fitness program or something like that, I think is what it was called.
Are you talking about the pacer test?
Like no
okay.
I believe it was before that came after that. Yeah, it's like where they have you run a mile, you do like sprints back and forth. It's speed, and then like amount of pull-ups and stuff like that, and like for some reason, whatever, it's like I would always like, if I couldn't do it the way I was supposed to or whatever, then I would be upset. And then the gym teacher was kind of just like, well bro, you don't worry about it, just whatever. And I don't know. And I always kind of then I like held that grudge against him for whatever long, and like he tried to say something later. It's just like nah, bro, just.
You talking about your gym teacher?
So I don't know if it's me. Yeah, about my gym teacher. Yeah. That was like, that was elementary school, but yeah, and then probably I'd say close to middle school, I basically tried to stop that whatever, like like you don't gotta, a lot of times it'd be like if you didn't win or whatever, realizing that it's just a game or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So it sounds like you kind of stopped taking games and competitions as seriously, and you had to
Yeah,
remind yourself that it's just a game.
pretty much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
So then, going back to what you were saying, like with your family and how they used to maybe tell you some things, but then they kind of just stopped, and then kind of hearing that over time you've been slowly working with them so that they kind of open back up again.
Yeah, kind of. It also has partially to do with like even just my social abilities back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, like going to college and like being able to have better relationships with people, then that kind of help that.
Mm-hmm.
Like even knowing how to converse properly or something. Yeah.
So it sounds like you kind of struggled with coming out of your shell to other people, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's pretty accurate. Yeah. I mean, even now, it's kind something that you better at, right? Kind of opening up or whatever, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely sound different talking to me today compared to like when I had first met you at the was it the roost or the top of the pug world.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you'd say would it be accurate to say like your main issues? It sounds like you're wanting to talk about, or is being more open and transparent with the people that you talk to, and then worrying about once you start working that you're going to be stuck on that grind for the rest of your life. And then
yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's very general, but like just working on the way that I relate in relationships and trying to get better at that, and then yeah, moving on, starting the new flipping the page, whatever. Yeah, I'm scared, whatever. But
mm-hmm. Well, all right. So if we've gotten everything that you wanted to sort of talk about, or put out on the table, are there any you mentioned some like darker moments in your life? Is there any that you that you could think of that you might want to share with everyone?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I did think about that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, because for sure, at least something that I can, it's like I had, well, I think it's still like wearing off or whatever. It's like for sure I'd been going through like depression, whatever, last year for sure. It's like it's hard to tell where it starts and where it ends, but yeah. So you know, it's partially related to anxiety with school and like my friends not being there and stuff. Uh, yeah, because I had like 4 good friends, like I said, in college that had helped me, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they graduated, so I was living in a house with 3 other people I wasn't terribly familiar with or comfortable with. So, yeah, that didn't go so well for me. And then COVID hit, and then like, yeah.
Well, I say, I mean, well, you know, what do you mean by? Okay, it was, you know, going down.
Just I did not do so hot in school like I was supposed to be done, and now just dealing with the, you know, this past semester and this one dealing with the, you know, repercussions or whatever, trying to get back on the horse and be done and uh, move on.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I've wanted to be done for a while. Like, if I could have just been done that semester and just like, I don't know if it would have been good for me, I guess, just because then I wouldn't have been facing whatever either. You just kind of write it off, and it was fine, but it really wasn't. Yeah. Can't ignore it this way, so yeah.
Yeah, so like I keep hearing those same 3, you know, problems kind of circling throughout, you know, these different times of your life. Being open with people, yeah, social skills, and then you know, worrying about the grind that, you know, you feel like just will never end, and talking about delaying your semesters and not doing as well as you could have, to just sort of delay the inevitable.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. 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 I'd say, yeah, those are some main things, yeah.
Well, you had said things that sort of went downhill with COVID and living with you said with some roommates.
Yeah, it's, so we all got our own rooms and whatever. It was fine. It was okay, but like going from what I had, which was like real good friends in there, it's like, I don't know, I could like close my door and just whatever, nobody would have to know that I existed in there, you know. Whatever. Beyond the times you go to the bathroom, take a shower, and eat food, and go to class or go to work. Yeah. So it's like, there was 3 girls also, which should be worth mentioning, which was like,
yeah, that's kind of a small
different.
detail.
It's a different dynamic. So yeah, it's a different dynamic. I had 3 guy friends so yeah.
Wait, I'm
for
confused.
Sure, different dynamic, and I'm a little less.
Who are you rooming with?
So one of them
3 girls
was like, yeah. I mean, everybody's got their own rooms. It's just whoever wanted to or needed a place to live. So more or less.
Well, you said 3 girls and 3 guys, so I'm like, that's like 6 people and then you. So I'm like, you have 7 people in this house, like.
No, it was four rooms. So yeah.
Okay.
It was me and 3 other people. Yeah.
Well, so where did these guy friends come in?
Well, freshman year we were all on the same floor. Yeah, just, and then we kind of kept in contact, and I mean we weren't like always whatever, but then when we moved into a house, is when, I don't know, all 4 of us, I guess, decided to move into a house together, and then we became like better friends all together. Yeah, just because you're like, there's no one else there, whereas in the dorms, you have, you know, everybody. You know, you can go in another person's room, but yeah.
Okay, so like going hand in hand with the you know, being open and socializing and whatnot, kind of sounds like you know, you hung out with them like a little bit, but like what I'm definitely hearing when you're at, you know, at the house with the 3 girls is that you kind of just do your thing and and leave and run and hide.
Kind of, yeah.
Just in and out. Leave no trace. You're Solid Snake.
Pretty much. Yeah, leave no trace, yeah. Yeah.
Well, so
I mean, that's what
Okay.
I take that pattern, like, for even just like, I'd like to leave things exactly how I left them, or cleaner. You know, you kind of thought that, whatever, but just like, whatever kind of space. If you're on a job or working, even just like you had this workspace, you dirtied it up, and then I try to put things exactly back where I found them, so that so then in the house, I do, you know, all the dishes, whatever. Okay, now this was here, that was there. I did the dishes, and nobody whatever knew that I did anything. So,
Yeah. So
except for the fact that I accomplished whatever task.
Hey, what do you think about that? You know, is that kind of like your style? You know, stealthy, don't leave a trace, don't let anyone know I'm here. You're a rogue.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I guess I have thought about it a little before, but I don't know. Does everything have to mean something? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
not sure about that one.
Do you do that often?
Enough. Yeah, I guess, like, even maybe relating to, oh gosh. Like with teachers and stuff, it's like or professors or whatever, it's like I don't like to ask questions because I don't like to be noticed, because then yeah, I just kind of like fade into the background and whatever. So I don't like asking for help. That's another thing. Yeah. So if I don't ask a question, you don't notice me, and then I don't know. Unless I like particularly enjoy the like professor or whatever, then, but that doesn't happen very often. Because they're often like however old, and I'm like this age gap, and it's all these differences now. It doesn't happen a lot, so.
Okay.
I'm bouncing all over the place, but
you know, conversations don't always go in linear order, and that's perfectly fine.
Well, that's how you. I've heard that before. That's how you remember things. Is well, it was actually in the context, if you can tell if someone's lying. They usually don't tell things in chronological order, because you remember things based on importance, or like how you remember them. So kind of just, oh yeah, no, yeah, this is what happened. And then you add details after you already talked about half of it, and then it might be confusing, but
yeah. And if somebody has their story a little bit too straight, you might be sort of wondering, like, how much have you thought about this? Does this kind of sound premeditated, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so if it is truthful and it is chronological, you probably thought about it 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a little script in your head.
You've had a problem with you know, talking openly and honestly with people, or you will, but you know, you don't necessarily receive that same treatment or the same experience. And then the second thing is feeling, you know, comfortable with socializing with people. And then the third thing is, you know, the would you call it a fear, or just, you know, just not being ready to get on the grind that you're imagining?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably is fear. I would say I could do it and can do it. It's just like, whatever, cross the line.
We'll start with this. So as far as you know, for being open and honest with people, and you know, having them kind of say more of what they're thinking or feeling, What's the been like the hardest obstacle or the biggest difficulty with talking to people about how they really feel and what they're really thinking. So like you go to talk to them about it, and maybe like talk about what happens and whatnot.
I was gonna say like starting the conversation, but like not literally not starting the conversation is hard because you can start any conversation with small talk in whatever form or fashion, but like crossing the line of what did I heard that on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Crossing the line between small talk and medium talk. Yeah, pretty much. It's
Okay.
like actually I don't know, actually asking the questions that I want to hear the answers to.
So actually crossing over into what you said was medium talk.
Yeah.
Actually having to ask the hard questions. So that sounds like that's the most difficult part. So you walk up to them, you're kind of talking about their day, some things that are going on, and a little time goes past, and then you freeze.
Or you don't, or you just like my thing. Then you're done or whatever. You know.
Well, the way I
Yeah.
would sort of imagine it is, yeah, you're moving along, and then there's just, like those game windows of where you gotta hit the right timing. It just sort of goes
Mhm.
by, and then it goes by again, and then it goes by again, and then pretty soon the person has now walked out of the room, and
Or more often I walk out of the room, I think. Yeah. So
Just-
yeah, if I didn't hit that first time it went past, then I was like, okay, well I missed it. Oh well, maybe I'll
Mhm.
try again later.
What's really helped with making this happen? Like, have you ever been successful with asking some of these, uh, with successfully transitioning to medium talk?
There's like things that would help, right? Or encourage me to get there is like if the person is particularly like receptive or whatever, then like even from conversation to conversation, I don't know. If this time they're seeming a little bit more like into it or whatever, then it's gonna help me to be a little bit more risk-taking behavior. Oh, maybe I can say something that isn't normal, or at least normal to what we usually talk about. So
Okay.
yeah.
This sounds like you when you feel like the field is in your favor, things are going well, good conversations, the mood is good. You feel like you can take just one more step forward, and then
Yeah.
another step, and then another step, until eventually you have enough courage to ask the questions that you want answers to.
Yeah. It's a lot about timing and setting, and it doesn't have to be, but
Mm-hmm.
and I suppose even the like things that you pick up on their mood. So if they're not in a good mood, then it's like I'm probably not gonna, try to ask that because you're probably not in the mood. So that's fine, and you're not always in the mood. So I mean, I suppose you can ask that, but it's like that's kind of weird too, isn't it?
Well, so that's interesting. So, what I kind of heard from that a bit is, well, they might always be in a bad mood. So what happens then?
Yeah.
You never asked the
kind
question,
of.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So what do you think would help with that situation?
Uh, Just doing it more, I suppose. Whatever.
So
Which
getting
doing it more with more people, kind of, right?
mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's practice, whatever. But yeah, just.
So if you're talking to somebody who's just never in the mood, you know, life is hard, things are difficult, there's a lot of stress going on, and you know this question is never being asked, how might you talk to that person to eventually ask that question? How might you solve this issue?
Yeah, I don't know. Just building up the confidence, whatever, sort of. Sort of.
Well, I mean, much like, you know, any problem that we have in life, sometimes things call for a change in strategy. So if you know that there's a lot going on, you know,
True.
in their life, and what you're asking them might add more stress onto it, what might you do for them, or how might you ask or you know, structure the conversation so that it will, you know, not be too heavy on them, but also give you the answers that you're looking for?
Well, an opportunity / whatever that comes to mind is meet them where they're at. So you kind of just like for instance, someone who likes to work a lot. I have no one in mind. You meet them where they're at, so you offer to help them with the work, and therefore you talk while you're working, if it's possible. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So if I were to just say back, like, what I'm kind of hearing is you're easing up the stress and tension going on with them so that they have a little bit more room for something that you want to talk with them about.
Yeah. Well, because I realize this is where they're comfortable. This is like what you do all the time, and this is what you like. So it's like I don't like talking about these things either, but and I don't. I guess I don't know that you don't, but.
Well, when you say you, are you referring to someone in particular that you feel comfortable sharing, or no?
Not in particular. I don't know. It's like whatever. Like maybe my dad or something, but just beyond that, it's like there's other people too. So yeah.
So, as far as having these open conversations with people, moving forward, you know, what do you think that you can do now that you've talked about this that will help that situation?
Just going for it. I don't know.
So just going for it. So Nike, just do it.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of, yeah.
Well, I mean, how's that worked for you in the
I
past? You know,
it it works sometimes. Not, I guess it's not like super great, but.
So what else might you do?
What else might you do? Make a plan. Make plans.
Okay, make a plan. We're gonna get a strategy. It's gonna, you know, if plan A fails, we're gonna go to B, and
yeah,
we're gonna sort of try and plan everything out. But what happens if things don't go according to plan?
Yeah, I mean that's always a thing. I don't know. And I don't know, then you go again, but going again doesn't. It's not a great success rate on that. And you kind of just like give up and move on with your everyday things. Yeah.
Yeah, and some people may not want to ever talk about
Hmm.
whatever it is you want to talk about, and you might never hear what you want to hear, and
Hmm.
that's
Yeah, it's true.
and that's perfectly okay. We don't
Hmm.
have to. uh I'd say we can accept that the people that we are going to get these open conversations with, and the support that we want, isn't going to be everybody. And we
Hmm.
have to be careful of who we spend our time with, whether that's family or
Hmm.
friends, and just sort of be aware that not everyone is going to give that to you. uh,
Hmm.
so
That's fair. Yeah.
so the second thing, well, actually, yeah.
Hmm.
So okay. So you talked about just going for it, and
Hmm.
making a plan. Is there
Hmm.
anything else that you feel like you could do moving forward that will help you navigate these having open and honest conversations with people?
Uh, I suppose picking out the individuals that uh can handle medium talk or whatever.
All
Right?
right. Yeah. So scoping out, thinking about it, you
Yeah.
might be like, man, I really wish they would just say this. But then you think about,
Hmm.
who this person is. Do they even do that?
Hmm.
Do they have these types of
Yeah.
conversations? You know,
Yeah.
what I'm kind of hearing is scoping things out so you know whether or not to put some time into it. How do you feel like you could, tackle this issue?
I'm pretty good with where I'm at, just because like I also am an introvert, which so I don't know. At least to me, it kind of means like at the end of the day, it's like I got my cave. I don't have to. At the end of the day, you don't go sit in the living room and want to talk some more. Um,
So I'm kind of hearing like
yeah.
a mixed message. It sounds like, well, end of the day, I can always, go home and have comfort in the things I do at home. But at the same time, I'm kind of hearing, but I still would be nice to, have maybe a few friends that I could talk to.
Yeah. Well, because right now it's a lot of like over the internet, whatever, via Discord and whatnot. So uh, I think some of it has to do with COVID, but it also has partially to do with where I'm at. So like I whatever living with my parents, and I don't got a lot of um in-person friends. I think that uh helps me. Yeah, when the people are physically there. So
Mm-hmm.
like a little bit more of that, I suppose. Yeah, like my whatever communication via the internet is like probably more than good or whatever. Just yeah. So yeah,
When you say
maybe more so
more,
in person. Yeah,
what do you mean by more good?
more than good. I mean, just like it's plentiful. It's good. You know, it's I don't need to fill out that. I don't need more friends to feel more like fulfilled or happy, whatever.
As far as like socializing goes, like, are you happy with the people that you know online? Like, are they enough for you to feel happy, fulfilled, and supported?
Uh, well, that's kind of the issue. Kind of ties into like where I was at last year. It's like when you only have that, I tend to like not tell the people, everything that's going on, right? Whereas someone that's in person, they can tell that you're a little bit like, are you all right? Because I don't know, often it's like I'm not gonna try to be the downer of the whatever of the group, or even just the of the day, like even if I am just talking to one person. I don't know. Yeah.
So
yeah,
kind of hearing a lot coming from that. It's so that didn't necessarily answer the question of like, are online friends enough? I heard that
not for me. No.
Okay. So you're saying,
yeah.
So you do need
like
in-person
my
friends.
family takes that like in-person role right now, so I don't know. I don't know that they have to live with you, but that certainly helps. Just because it is that much more unavoidable, right?
What do you mean by unavoidable?
For like, it's unavoidable to have them see how you are really doing. When you live in your own place, you can like.
So I'm hearing you said if you only have online friends, it's hard for the average person to really know how you're doing because they can't actually see you to know if something's wrong.
I don't know about the average person, but for me, yeah, because I don't. Well, I suppose it's hard to verbalize everything, so I guess maybe on average, like, you can't tell everything through voice or text, but no.
Well, that's why you would also have webcam or just any type of face cam, right? So then you would be able to tell. And the other thing that I'm sort of thinking about is like, well, what's stopping you from telling them that something's wrong?
I kind of touched on it. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to be like whatever. Like, everybody's got problems. I don't know, and I'm belittling it or whatever. But that's how I feel a lot of the time. So it's like you almost feel like burdensome, or right. I don't need to be that extra 5-pound weight in your backpack. Or if it's an extra bad day, I don't need to be that 50-pound weight in your backpack.
Well, so what's the difference between telling a friend in person about an issue that you're having versus somebody online?
There's not a much difference in the actual telling. It's in the initiation of actually, like, this is bothering me. So like them being able to tell by just looking at you.
So in other words, what I'm kind of
so it sounds I should be able to like just say that it's all whatever, but it's not what happens.
So once they ask, it's like, hey, shit, man, it's your fault. You fucking asked. So I have full reign to tell you everything that I'm going through without feeling guilty about it. Am I hearing that right?
Kind of. It's not as cut and dry as that, but sort of. Yeah, sort of. I feel a lot better about it. Yeah. If someone asks, because then you're showing that you like care or whatever. So yeah. Or that you want to listen. So.
Well, as you also said, people are going through a lot of things in their own life, so they may be a bit preoccupied. They may never notice anything that's going wrong with anything that may be wrong with you, and they may never notice your facial cues or your tone of voice,
Yeah.
just because they're dealing with their own issues, or they just may not be a particularly observant person. They may never look.
Mm-hmm.
So in that
Mhm.
case, people may never ask what's wrong, in person
Mhm.
or online.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do you navigate that situation?
Well, online is what you're saying,
Online or in
or what did
person?
you say?
Well, so
I
what I'm
mean,
hearing is you really want to, you're the way that you feel comfortable with talking about, some of these issues is somebody notices like something that's wrong with you, like, so in person they notice like something looks off and then they ask.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I
But
mean that helps, or even more now. I think over like voice or anything, if somebody asks, "How are you?" which is such a common question, I'm much more inclined, at least with my friends, to actually say how I am instead of "I'm good, I'm alright, I'm fine." Yeah.
and how do you respond to somebody in person who says how are you?
Um. Well, I don't have a lot of friends or like in person that I'm super close with, so not very whatever. Yeah. Maybe my parents or whatever, like my mom or something, she asks how are you, and then I'm probably be more inclined to tell the truth. But yeah.
So what I'm kind of hearing from that is, there's not many situations in person where somebody is you're either going to be close enough to them or that they're going to be in the right state of mind to even notice that something's, going on with you. And then with internet
Mm,
friends, I'm hearing that you feel as though that, there's the barrier of where they can't see your face to, kind of
mm,
know what's going on. And that even if they ask like, well, how are you doing? So they're making the initiation, they're asking. They may not know
mm,
something's wrong, but they're asking.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
then I'm hearing that you don't tell them the complete truth about what's going on.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. It's
I
just
mean, what do you think about that?
what do I think about it? I think it's not great, obviously. Uh, it's not great for me. It's not great for uh, like a trusting whatever sort of relationship you have. So, whatever. The more truthful you can be, the I don't know, but the closer you can be, the I don't know, kind of like that.
Well, I mean, how do you bond with people and build trust typically? You know.
Eh, well, you mean spend time, of some fashion or kind. Yeah, spend time with them. So.
Okay, so I mean, you can spend time with anyone and it
Yeah,
could be absolutely, all good or absolutely meaningless, depending
yeah, it's
on
true.
what you talk about. So what else
Mm-hmm.
might you do
It's
with
true.
someone that you're spending time with to sort of build a better bond with them?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I mean, the thing that it's like obviously like talking about things that whatever aren't surface level, but that's I don't know. That's what else can you do beyond that? I'm kind of at a loss at this very second, but
Well, it sounds as though you know
I'm pretty sure.
exactly what you would need to do.
Hmm. Do I? Do I sound like it?
Well, you said, talk with them and share more
Mm-hmm.
personal things about what's going on. Being more honest.
Oh, yeah. I suppose. Yeah. Yeah.
Transitioning
That's
into
fair.
that
Yeah.
medium talk that you want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Sharing what? Yeah. I don't know how to say that. Sharing your or trusting them, and then yeah, kind of in return, getting it back or whatever, sort of. Yeah.
right. So, yeah, I'm hearing, just being willing to trust them and
Mm-hmm.
opening up about, what you're thinking and how you feel and letting them support you rather than uh, just saying that, oh, I'm just fine. And then, they never really know how you're feeling. And it's as if, you hope that they can read your mind and your feelings and they ask, hey, is something wrong?
Yeah.
But, as we all know, people, even if they could read minds, I tell you right now, they probably have a really hard time doing it and consistently.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah.
So, what would you do moving forward, whether with somebody in person or online?
Trusting them with a real answer to the how are yous or something, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you trust them when they ask how you're doing, and then
Yeah.
what comes next?
Just tell them what's on your mind, I suppose. Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of yeah. Tell them what's up.
And why is that helpful for them?
Then they know. Then they don't have to read your mind. But yeah. Well, yeah, they're not gonna read your mind anyway. But
That's a good point. And if you don't tell them, what's on your mind or your heart, what would
Mhm.
happen?
You probably aren't gonna be doing as good, or at least me. I'm not gonna be doing as good, and your relationship ain't gonna be as good. Yeah, those things.
I maybe might add, well, they're gonna never know how you feel, and you're never gonna be able to say everything that you want to say, and then the conversation is
Mhm.
just never gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So both with, being open and transparent with people, and identifying them and looking for strategies of how to talk to them, and find the time and space to transition from small talk to medium talk. It sounds like
Mhm.
this goes hand in hand with feeling comfortable enough to even socialize with people and tell
Mhm.
them what you're feeling. And even though some people have reached out to ask you how you're doing, and they have shown that they cared, you aren't completely open and honest with them.
Mhm. Yeah.
So moving forward, really hitting home on this, what might you do in the future?
It's trying to be more open and honest. With uh what I'm saying and feeling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if somebody messages you tomorrow and said, hey, like, what's up, what's going on, what are you gonna do?
Well, who is it? That's my first question. Yeah. Well, I do think that's somewhat important. So analyzing who it is, and then you determine which answer you give, I suppose. I don't know.
All right, because that goes back
like that, or yeah,
to the first issue you
Yeah.
brought up. Figure out if this
Mhm.
is a person that's worth investing your time and energy into, and then
Mhm.
what would be the second step?
To do or not to do, or I guess yeah, based on that. So,
Well, what are you gonna
uh,
do with them?
I'm gonna be honest and talk with them or tell them what's up. Yeah.
Can you just let us know one more time, so I know that you're getting it?
Uh.
Maybe
So,
say it loud enough for the world to hear.
Oh yeah. You. Let's see. So, figure out if the person is someone you want to confide in, and then you if it isn't, then you can, I don't know, still speak with them in the way that you typically do or whatever. Okay, but if it is someone you want to confide in, then you would tell them honestly and truthfully what's going on in your head, or what's going on, what's up.
So sharing with them how you're thinking and what you're feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got those two. In the last one, we sort of said, like what's the hardest part about wrapping up college and starting that grind.
What's the hardest part? I would say starting, but I think even like
do you have to be on a grind?
it's a series of steps. I guess I don't have to. It's just the like having.
How did you put it earlier? You said, I start going to work and then I do that every day and then life is over.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like that. I also know that, but it's, I don't know. The
uncertainty.
I'm not very straightforward when I talk. I cut it all into pieces.
All right,
Yeah.
so you could even practice right now, because I'm asking you like what's going on and how are you feeling to help everyone else who may watch this, and and being fully open and honest. Somebody may reach out or leave a comment that they can directly relate, and they may even be supportive. But if you never tell them what's honestly going on, then what would happen?
Can
they read your mind?
No, they can't read my mind.
So how will they ever know?
Yeah.
So you don't have to follow that path. That's just what I'm kind of hearing you say is like that's what you imagined.
Yeah.
Is that you
the
go to
easy
work?
Path? It's the one that's cut out. It's the one that you go to school, you go to other school, you go to other school, and then you get a job that has insurance and is reliable and helps you survive.
But it sounds as though that you have a big problem with that.
Kind of, yeah. It's on. Obviously, surviving is pretty important for survival. uh, so I don't know, having some form of income or whatever, so you can be independent and do your own thing. It's like you almost need a starting point, but the starting point can be sort of trapping, or feels like a trap or something.
Am I maybe hearing that the starting point doesn't have to be the best, and that you could always,
Yeah,
make
I
some
mean that's what I
changes
have in
later?
mind. It's like, yeah, that's what I like, but I don't know that I would ever get out of it. So if I never started, then I can't get trapped because I'll never be there.
That's interesting. So what would happen, or what would trap you? What would keep you trapped in this job and stop you from being able to leave?
I mean, there's not anything in particular. It's just this mindset that because it's easier to stay where you are than to like try and work towards something that would be a little bit harder to get, but would ultimately probably make me feel more fulfilled and happier, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah,
That the goal of life has to be happy is just, it's like, it doesn't seem, it's like, yes, but also like you can't ever attain it, so
what do you mean by can't ever attain it?
you can't you're never there. You're there for a moment and then you're chasing it again. So I don't know.
So going back to the original question, what's keeping you trapped?
My own brains.
I mean, yeah, that sounds about right to the answer.
Yeah.
Just you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like you said, you're working toward this job, you have some stability, it's a starting point,
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't like
Mm-hmm.
it, you can work towards something that's bigger and better that will be more fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
But the next question I have is, in order to get to that bigger and better fulfilling thing, what do you have to do first?
You gotta get there first.
You gotta maybe take that first job.
Yeah, pretty much. Yup.
And walk the path toward those first few milestones, the starting point. Are you gonna be trapped there forever?
I don't have to be. Could say no. I don't know the future. That's what's scary about it.
Well, let me ask you a very easy and similar question. Do you have to stay here in this world? Is there anything keeping you from leaving?
What do you mean, on the Earth?
No, I'm sorry. I meant VRChat world.
In here? Okay, I was like, what? Is anything keeping me here?
Could you take off your headset right now and just leave?
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Now, why would you do that?
I don't know if I was upset or something, or
So you
if I
you
was
didn't
like mad at you, or like it's not, I would probably need a reason.
Okay, so you have a reason. You're mad at the situation. You don't like where you are, so you get up and leave because what you're doing isn't, making you happy. It's not fulfilling. So you just, get up and leave and go do something else. So imagine that this world, like if it were to be an office, wherever you're working,
Yeah.
and you don't like it, what can you do?
I mean, can apply to different jobs. Well, you can leave, but yeah, it's the way it works. Before I leave, I'm probably gonna apply to however many jobs and have a job set out beforehand. But yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave the office.
You're gonna leave. You don't have to stay there. Are you trapped?
No.
No.
Nope.
So, if you aren't trapped, and you know that you may have to just apply to different jobs, then what is there left to worry about?
I mean, plenty of things, but no. There shouldn't be anything.
So moving forward,
Mhm.
as far as working with, the fear of getting into the grind and the uncertainty, what can you do, or what will help moving forward?
Will help. Applying or whatever. Yeah, just applying to jobs. Attempting to complete schoolwork, because it's not very bad. It's like one class, so just gotta like, I think I can count on one hand the amount of things I gotta do yet, so could get that done and not have to worry about that anymore.
I'm hearing what you need to do moving forward, but as far as the feeling uncomfortable about getting, onto that grind, what can you do to help ease that, sounds like anxiety, the anxiety that you feel?
Yeah, it's probably pretty accurate. Yeah. I'm not sure. What can I do to relieve this feeling of anxiety, I suppose? Yeah.
Well, how did it feel to talk about, the ability to walk away and apply for another job, to do something else? How did it feel to talk about not being trapped?
It feels good, I guess. Yeah, it feels I'm like scared to say things because like, I don't know, say it or whatever, and it might be true. I don't know.
It might be true.
Yeah.
What might be true?
What might be true? Not being actually trapped and not
Maybe, not being trapped and realizing that you actually had the freedom all along to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And that you don't have to stay anywhere longer than you have to. So, how would you help, ease that anxiety moving forward? And, it sounds like you already know exactly what to do to get there. But how do you deal with this feeling?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess just saying the things in one form or another to probably to someone, because I don't know that, talk to myself enough in my head, and I don't know that, I guess you could talk to yourself aloud. People do that. It's not as weird as you think, but
So I'm kind of hearing that you would tell yourself some things, but what would you tell yourself to help?
what would I tell myself to help? It's like that you are gosh. Let's see what this is here. That it's not that I'm free to do what I want, and that I can at least attempt to shape my future and stuff. Yes.
Attempt.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's not. There are no guarantees, are there? I don't know. You can.
You're absolutely right. There are no guarantees.
Yeah, I don't know. But you can try. I don't know. You just, whatever.
But you can try. You'll always be able to try. And do you have the freedom to try? Are you allowed to try?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Try all I like.
And are you always able to try?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's hit the nail again. Moving forward to help ease, this anxiety. Said, you would tell yourself what?
I can try my best to do what I want to do.
But are you trapped?
No.
Yeah, it was a lot quicker that time.
Trapped.
And you have some conviction behind it now. You mean it. You're like, no, wait, no, I'm not trapped. I can do whatever I want. There's no guarantees, but I can try. And if I don't like where I am, I can move, and I'm not trapped.
Yeah.
If I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to what? When I'm talking with a friend. You want to talk to them. You want to have medium talk with them, right?
Yeah.
You feel uncomfortable and you want to have medium talk. What do you do?
Give it a try.
Okay, so just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
what else?
Yeah.
What else do we talk about?
Spend some time with them, or tell them how you actually are. Be honest. Whatever. Yeah. So.
Okay. And then in order to.
So I mean that helps. That honestly helps. Just. Yeah.
So, and then again, the last thing of just because those first two things with being open and honest and socializing and building those relationships, they go hand in hand together. So in order to have supportive friends, whether in person or online, you need to do what? So you said spend time with them, and
talk with them, be honest. Tell them what's on your mind. That's the same thing I just said, I think. Yeah, pretty much. So.
Yeah. So 2 problems, 1 solution.
Yeah,
being
pretty much.
open and honest, and sharing what you feel. And then for that worry about the grind in the future, telling yourself the things that you need to hear. Do you have anything that you would like to say to everyone who watches?
If you're inside your own head all the time, you can't. I mean, you can get around it, but the chances are so stacked against you. You'd get outside your own head, then somebody else can tell you that we're both in the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all trying to do the same thing. I don't know. Survive.
So what I kind of heard from
maybe
that,
even have some fun along the way, you know? I don't know. Maybe enjoy ourselves a little bit.
you can't do it. God, this world is so laggy. Freedom.
I think I'm outside the thing now. Yeah.
Oh, are you?
There's a barrier there. Yep.
Oh no.
I'm
You're on the other side. You've escaped. You're free.
Oh, here's the door handle.
There you go. Run away. Live the life that you've always wanted to live. Goodbye.